Good morning.
Good morning. Did you see that we have a new format this morning? I saw you must have gotten the message.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, I just got it myself here just a little bit. I'm still trying to get myself set up here. We're going to have a little different format today. We're just going to show the charts. We're going to do a little bit like what we experienced yesterday on the other session, and we're just going to have it a little bit more low key. And we're just going to sit here and wait for the trades to come up. We're going to analyze them, and that's what we're going to do today.
Okay.
That
Sounds good.
sound like a plan? And
Sounds like a plan.
like I said, we're going to be starting here, and actually, they're just starting here in a couple minutes. You should see my charts. Is that correct?
I see. Yeah, I see your arrow.
Okay.
Euro
Okay.
G.
I'm going to actually. I think I'm going to switch monitors here, so I'm going to stop sharing this one. I'm going to move it around to a different spot here,
Okay.
and we'll see where this. So bear with me for a few minutes. Anybody that's in the room, just bear with us. We're just kind of getting ourselves launched with a different time frame and new format here today. So let's see. Okay, this is the Hawkeye trade system, and trading the foreign exchange on margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. The high degree of leverage can, can work against you as well as for you. Before deciding to invest in the foreign exchange, you should carefully consider your investment objective, level of experience, and risk appetite. The possibility exists that you could sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment, and therefore you should not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. You should be aware of all the risks associated with the foreign exchange trading and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. This is a live trading room. It is for educational purposes only. No financial advice or recommendations will be provided. Any trade taken during this live session is not a recommendation or a suggestion that you should also do the same. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Do not trade money that you cannot afford to lose. And before trading live, always operate with a written trade plan that identifies the rules for entries, exits, targets, and risk management. And with that, we'll go to the charts, and we're just going to, like I said, we have a new format starting today, and we're going to just this it's sort of like a work in order. But what we're doing is we're just going to be sitting back waiting for the, rather than going through a lot of technical analysis and showing wedges and how to identify, different areas. We're just going to pretty much just sit back here, relax, wait for the trades to show up. Right now we have about 30 different pairs. And as the trades show up, we'll look at them, we'll analyze them, we'll decide whether or not to take the trade or not. And that usually takes a few minutes, and then we'll sit back and wait for another one. Anybody that's in the room, you're welcome to ask questions, have comments. If you have anything that you'd like us to elaborate on, we can do that. But we're just going to kind of keep this sort of casual. I'm not going to spend a lot of time just trying to fill up the time space with a lot of chatter. But again, if you have questions, feel free to ask the questions. If you want, we can turn your microphone on if that helps. And we're just going to be keeping this as relaxed and as uh, enjoyable as we can. So welcome everybody, and we'll just wait for the next trade. The last trade we had was I believe, it was a
It was
uh,
Euro pound, I think.
euro pound, and it was already past the. It was already, here was the entry, and this was the target. It's already pretty much at the target area, but there really wasn't enough room to take the trade, so it was a no trade. Um, and that was the last alert that we had. So we'll just wait for the next one.
So do you think it's while we're waiting just quickly, is it beneficial for us to let them know what the strategy is that we're trading today?
Yeah, yeah, we can. Okay, yeah, let's do
Pretty
that. We'll just,
simple.
yeah, we'll give a little bit of a briefing on what we're looking for. Like I said, right now we're showing the we were only looking at about 13 different pairs. A lot of the British pairs are a lot of the ones that we're going to be looking at. We'll really be focusing on those as the London market opens. With the strategy that we're basically just going to focus on strategy number one. And as we progress through using this, and as we move forward from today on, we'll, as time allows and as everybody starts getting comfortable, we'll just start adding different strategies. Right now, there's about 7 strategies to choose from. We're only going to focus on one today. And the strategy that we're going to be looking at is, if you can see, we have a shaded area here. This is what they call the money zone. And that shaded area starts pretty much, if you live on the East Coast of the United States, this starts pretty much right around, this basically it's 8 o'clock, this 8 o'clock in the morning at, that's to be London time, I believe. Basically, these times are 7 hours ahead of where the East Coast is. So right now, this is at 8 o'clock. What do we say about
I'm
this?
not sure what time frame that is, because I thought London was only 5 hours ahead of us, not 7.
Okay, well, let's just look at it this way. Right now, the time here on this chart, if I look at where we are right now time-wise, this is how you can figure, this is the best way to figure this out. Right now on my chart, this candle right now is at 1430 hours, 14, so basically it's 7:30. Right now that's 2:30 on this chart time. Right now where I live, it's basically 7:30. So this candle is 7 hours, time-wise, is 7 hours ahead of where I am right now. So if I take, this is where the money zone starts. If this says at 8 o'clock, that's actually looking at 1 o'clock in the morning, East Coast time.
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. So the money zone starts at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is right after midnight. And right now, and then it will go all the way to the end of this zone, which is at 2000, which is to subtract 7 hours from that. That's basically 1 o'clock in the afternoon, East Coast time. So make your adjustments relative to that if you're in the United States. So right now we're at 7:30. And so when we get these alerts, the alerts will come, and we'll just look at the alerts when the arrow is generated. But this is the money zone. This is our prime time of the day to be trading. Now we're going to be taking from 7:30, which is pretty much right here, and we're going to be taking up until about 9:30. But I'm going to just move this over to about 9 o'clock rather. And then I believe Dante's going to come in at 9 o'clock, and he'll take it on till about 12 o'clock. But this way we'll that way you'll have pretty much a seamless trade time where we have some live trading going on. Let's see, where's 7, so till 12, and mine's gonna be 9 o'clock, so it's gonna be right about, well, Dante's gonna start at 9. That's gonna be at 9, and 7 is 16, so right around 1600. This is where Dante's gonna, so we're gonna be doing this session right in here. But what we're looking for is, we're looking for an alert. When the alert comes, it's gonna generate an arrow. When the arrow comes, we have 2 choices, actually a couple of choices. We're going to be looking to see, is there enough, are we going to have 20 pips till we get to the next red zone, or if it's a down arrow, 20 pips to the next green zone. If not, there's no trade. If we get an arrow, say like this arrow right here, if we got this arrow, this zone was not here at the time we had this arrow. So if you have an arrow, this is where the close of the arrow is. I'll make this a different color once I get set up here. This would be the entry. Here's where the arrow was generated. This is the candle you take the entry on. You take it on the open of the next candle following. And if you have 20 pips from here to, which would have been up this area right now, that would have been 20 pip target. If you have 20 pips, you can take the trade. If you don't, you don't take the trade. Now, the other thing to consider is, as you scroll into the charts with the little minus sign in, this little magnifying, basically you're scrolling in, you're zooming out, getting a bigger picture. You'll see how many green bars do you have, green zones do you have below, how many red zones do you have above, and that gives you an idea where the trend is on this particular pair. And you can see that there's a lot of green right below. So you're not going to want to be taking this thing short so much, but you would be more apt to take it long. But you can see where it's actually trading inside this range right now. But when you had this arrow, this arrow was generated right around 136.55. So if you have 20 pips, which would be 136.75, and you're still outside of that red zone, then you could take the trade. And it's as simple as that. So put an arrow.
Pretty easy strategy.
Pretty easy strategy. So you can see like the bottom of this red zone at the time that said this zone wasn't here at the time. This zone wasn't here at the time. So if you have 20 pips, which in this case is 136.85, you've got 30 pips from where this arrow was. So you could have taken that trade. And you can see you probably would have gotten your 20 pips on that one. And that's pretty much as simple as that. I'm going to scroll back out so you can see these candles a little bit better.
Yeah.
Now, and so if you can see how this thing, it generated the sell of the buy signal, came up, and you can see actually it did get up as high as right about there. You probably have a little bit for the spread, but you can see you had the 20 pips. You did get the 20 pips. Now it did, since then, it did create this red zone. So right now our zones are right in here. So really there's no room to take a trade in this area right now because it's so narrow. You got red zone below. So right now it's range bound, and you probably don't really have that 20 pip area that you would really like to have between, say, here and, you know, if you went to the top of this, you barely have your 20 pips. It's 42.60. You'd have 20 pips to the, you would have from the green to this red zone, you'd have your 20 pips, but you have this red zone here, which is now in the way. And so there's really no room to take the trade because, you know, if you got an arrow in this area right now, you're only going to have about a 10 pip range to be able to take the trade. That's not enough room to take it. When we take these trades with the Forex, with the foreign exchange, with the Forex pairs, we're looking for a 20 pip target and a 40 pip stop. And you do the measurements, you see if it's in the right direction, you look at the arrow, if you have the range, you take the trade.
I think we just got an alert.
And we just got an alert. Okay, let's see, where's my, there it goes. So right now we're looking at a US yen. So let's go to the US yen. It has a buy at 104.03. So US yen, 104.03. So let's bring this down to, here's our arrow. I can see right now this probably isn't going to work. Yeah, let's bring this down to where the arrow, to the close of the arrow. Come over here. Now we're going to measure. It's an up arrow, so here's our zone. Well, you can see right now that if I draw a line to the bottom of this red zone, you only have 2 pips, 1 pip. It's not a trade. It's too close. Wait for the next one. And that's pretty much all you really have to do with this strategy. Like I said, there are some other strategies, and I said we'll get involved. We'll go into those later on. But right now, we're going to learn to walk before we run, and we're just going to take things. This is probably the most profitable strategy. This is the one that has the highest degree of profitability and highest win ratio. So that's what we're going to stick with right now, and then we'll start going into some other ones later on. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat box, and let's try and answer them as best we can.
Go grab a coffee or something, guys.
Yeah, grab a cup of coffee, and we right now we just wait for the next one. So we take this off, and we wait for the next one to come up. And we can watch this as we go along, and we'll just wait for the next one to come.
We gotta get some kind of elevator music going here, Al, in the background while we wait. We'll figure it out for tomorrow.
Yeah, actually, I talked to Brian early this morning, and he's got some music in the queue. He just hasn't sent it to me yet. Actually, I might have some music that I can try and dig out of my library. I have to step away in order to do that. But yeah, I think it would be nice to have some nice little music coming in.
Yeah, while we're sitting waiting, at least get something to entertain us.
Yeah. In fact, why don't you, if you do, Eva, why don't you take it over right now?
Okay.
And I'm see if I can find something find one of my tapes I can put on here. So let me just take a real quick look. So you've got the room.
Okay. All right, guys, so we're just going to sit and wait and see what pops up. And like Al said, in the meantime, if you have any questions, just put them in the Q&A, and we'll do our best to answer you. So just out of curiosity, just wondering if anybody is already using the Arrow system. Could you please just put a 1 in the chat if you are? Just so I get a awesome. That's great, Janar. Just gives us a bit of a feel of who our audience is. So while we're waiting, can you guys just put in the chat where you're from? What part of the world are we talking to? That always interests me. I love to travel, so I love knowing where people are from. Estonia. Wow. Couple from Estonia. That's pretty cool. I'd like to get there one day. Never been.
Okay, I'm back. I haven't really found anything, but I've got one. I'll check it out and see if it works for me.
That's okay. If for today, I wouldn't worry too much. I will figure it out afterwards.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of people from Estonia in the attendees.
Estonia.
Estonia, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, we welcome anybody that we welcome everybody, and I said we're here to help you have a good experience with the Arrow system, and that's what we're here for, to try and help you understand it and help you to become successful with it.
So what time is it in Estonia right now? You're probably about 7 hours ahead of us here, I would think. Okay, so it's almost 3 in the afternoon. So yeah. Yeah, they are. They're 7 hours. So this works out perfectly. The time is exactly theirs. What's on the charts.
Yeah. So.
Oh, Janar. It's yeah, almost 3. Monday went wrong for me because one trade with wrong lot size. Big loss, but since then I'm plus 17%. Wonderful. on a 500 euro account. So he likes it much more than Iris. I think we all do.
Yeah,
Jannar.
it's so much easier, and it's much the rules are very cut and dry, very simple. There's not a lot of subjectivity to it, and it's either there, the trade's either there or it's not. And no, the history says that when they're there and they follow the rules, that the history says you're going to be profitable with it. And we always say it's going to work until it doesn't.
No, that's it. And right now it's working.
Yeah, right now it seems to be working very well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Quicker and takes less time to make a decision. This is true. I mean, exactly. If you've got the 20 pips between the two zones, then it's a go if, you know, it meets your criteria. Or if you don't have the 20 pips, you don't. And like the developer always says, for this strategy, trade with the trend. So you always want to kind of pan out to see which way the trend is going. And if you're going against the trend, if the arrow is going against the trend, it's really not recommended, not for strategy number one. There are other strategies that do counter trend trading, but that's not what we're teaching right now.
You have to understand too is that this software just came out and was just made available probably what, about a month now, I guess. So even
Something like that, yeah.
so it's relatively new, and we're just starting to get the coaching staff together to be able to open up the rooms and trade it in these trading live sessions. There's still a lot that I still have to learn about it, and but I've been using it. I was part of the beta test program, and I was successful with it then, and they've made some improvements since. So we're just going to take it, like I said, we're going to take it one step at a time. We're going to introduce strategies as we go on. They have swing strategies. They have different time frames. Right now, what we're teaching right now is on strategy number one. You put the foreign exchange pairs on the 15-minute chart. The only difference is if you're looking at the gold or the S&P index, then you put those on the 5-minute chart. Now, there's different time frames for different strategies, but that's the one we're using right now. So you'll see all of our charts are on 15-minute, except for the S&P and the gold. They're on a 5-minute chart. And the range for the profit targets and the stop loss targets for the S&P and for the gold both are $5 profit, $10 stop on the pair. So, and that's what we've been using.
Gosh, did you see what Jannar wrote in there? That's really nice. He said, thanks to Al, I read charts much better. Thank you for that.
Oh, thank you, Gernard. It's, you know, we're not sure what depth we're going to be going into the technical analysis. We'll probably still keep incorporating that in to some level. Part of the problem we've had is that unless you're in the room consistently to be able to build on the knowledge, if you just get into the room, people get rather overwhelmed with trying to analyze the charts. So we have to try and find that balance between overwhelming people and losing them, or having people being bored and losing them that way too. So we're still kind of working a little bit on where that happy medium is. So right now we're just going to today we're just going to kind of keep it really relaxed. If you have any technical questions, feel free to ask them. If we see a chart, I may go ahead and draw it out and see if there's something worth discussing. But we're just going to kind of keep it laid back and relaxed a little bit today, and just wait for the trades to come up. We've got 30 pairs that we're looking at. So about every 15 minutes, you're probably going to see something pop in there. And we'll just take it as it comes. Like I said, if anybody has any questions, technical questions, or would like some clarity on some things, just feel free to put it in the chat.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here. Now, one thing that while we are sitting here waiting around, let me just show you a chart that we use for position sizing. And so, like right now, we're looking at the U.S. yen pair. What's important is that not only taking the trades and winning the trades, but you have to also know that how you set your stop losses. Now, like I said, we're using a 20 pip target, a 40 pip stop. And so let's just make this is a pip calculator that we put together. And I don't have all the pairs on here, but for instance, this one that we're using like right now, we're looking at the US yen. So if I look at the US yen, let's see where the US yen is here. British yen,
It's
US.
down at the bottom, it's second from the
Oh,
bottom.
there it is. There it is. So you have the US yen pair. And the US yen, you can see it's $9.32 a pip. So I'm just going to put that in this area right here, $9.32. And we're going to look at a pip risk of 40 pips. And that's basically your what we call the profit regulator. And if let's say we want to use, let's just go for a 2% risk on our account. And we'll just say we have a $1,000 account. Keep the math simple and easy. And so basically with a 40 pip risk, you're going to be risking $20. In order to accept a 2% loss with a full stop out of 40 pips, you can be risking $20. But that $20 means you can take a lot size of a 0.05 lot size for this combination of risk versus, and so if you risk 2% with 40 pips and you're looking for a 20 pip target, then what that's really saying is that your target's going to be, you're looking at, if you're going to take your profit at 20 pips with a 0.05 lot size, you're basically going to make $10. You're risking 20 to make 10. But keep in mind that with this ratio of 20 to 40, and you're winning 80% of the time, you're still going to be profitable. If you wanted to risk a little bit more, you just change your risk level to 3%. And now you'd be risking $30 to make 15. But now your lot size is going to be a 0.08 lot size. And that's how this thing works. This way you can help control how large of a position you're taking, what your risk value is based on your account size. If your account goes up to say $1,100, you can see that this goes up a little bit, your risk goes up a little bit, but your profit's also going to go up again with this lot size, this pip value.
I'm trying to put the link for this spreadsheet in the chat. It's not letting me do it for some reason.
Let me see. Oh, the link for the chat?
For the spreadsheet.
For the pip calculator?
Both asking.
I can see if I can put it in here. Let me see if I can stick it in the chat box. Let's see. Let me see if I can do it.
If you can't, what I can do is I can put it on a OneDrive and paste a link to that so that people can just click on it and open it up.
Well, let me just see if this thing, let me try this. Copy and paste. See if it may not allow me to do it here, but maybe it will. Nope, doesn't seem like it's working on that.
Okay, just a minute here.
Oh, we have a Swiss yen. Let's take a look at that. So we'll make this one small. What happened here? Why is this not Swiss yen?
How about I just email it to them?
You could do that.
Sounds good. Easier than creating a drop file. Let's do that. So just put your email address and I will send it to you immediately. Perfect.
Wow, it's slow, Al.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened here. Is that I think obviously I have to keep it on this smaller chart, I think, while we're waiting for the,
Yeah, yeah. I was going to mention that, but
I didn't think it was going to be this, didn't realize it was going to be this low. I haven't experienced this, this is snail space here.
wow.
Look at, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, looks like we're going to be sitting on our hands for a little bit.
There you go.
There we
Okay.
go. Swiss yen. Here we go. Let's find the Swiss yen.
It's the second row from the left, right in the middle, or from the right, sorry, right in the middle.
There's Swiss yen.
There
Here
we
we
are.
go. And so we have, this needs to be on a 15-minute
Right.
chart. I have to double check my chart schedules. Boy, oh boy,
Your
oh boy.
chart's an hourly chart, or is it just taking?
Well, no, I just clicked it on 15. It just hasn't changed yet.
I think they're updating the VPS this weekend, if I'm not
Are
mistaken.
they?
They are, yes, they
Yeah.
are.
So
They
that
are.
should make a
Big
difference.
update.
This is when I missed to get the, there we go. And it's waiting,
Oh,
waiting,
there you go.
waiting.
Hey Revo, you should receive that in the next 2 seconds. So let me know if you get it.
I have all 30 charts like that. It just gets a whole different picture here.
Actually, we have an Aussie New Zealand just came in.
Oh, good. We got lots of stuff going on here.
You want me to share mine, Al?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, okay. There you go. Here's we've had a new one since
Oh my, this is,
this.
okay, let's take a look. Let's see, switch, let me close this out here. Why is this so slow?
I don't know. That's really slow, isn't it?
I haven't had this, I haven't experienced this in a very long time.
Okay. Can you stop sharing?
Yeah,
and then
let me stop sharing. Why don't you take it while
I'll put mine on there.
yeah, there you go. Why don't you do that? Thanks.
Okay, so we just had an Aussie New Zealand come in as a sell. Let's get you out of the road here. And that would be this guy right here. Out of the way. So if we pan out to see what the trend is, okay, you can see it's a super strong buy because it's trending upwards. I don't even see any reds coming up on my screen at all. And this is going counter trend. So the first rule is that this strategy is trend based. So we wouldn't take it anyway. And the second rule being is that you don't even have, you've only got 7 pips. You don't have your 20 pips and you need 20 pips to get into a trade. So this is another one that even though it's in the money zone right now, oh, there's a red popped up. Even though it's in the money zone right now, you don't want to take this because the chances of it working out for you, and it doesn't have far to go anyway. It's going to butt up against this. So you're not going to get your 20 pips. So are there any questions on that? Do you have anything to add, Al or Matt?
Nope, it looks
No,
like you got it.
Yeah, that's it's as simple as that, right? We don't need to.
Yeah, it's just that easy. You look at it and
You got to bounce an arrow, but you don't have enough pips, and you're trading against the trend. So
yeah. Then we might as well, US yen came in.
yeah, let's do that.
So here's the US yen. Okay, now it's already gone. But according to the rules on it, this was a buy. And see, we quickly pan out. Let's have a look. Okay, it's a hard buy. You can see all the greens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 4 to the short side. So this is definitely, the trend is up. So if you go back in, this is where it came in. So you wait for this to close. You would have entered right here if you decided to take it, but it's not even quite 2 pips. So you wouldn't have. And in this case, it actually did go that high, but it still hasn't hit your 20 pips. It's still not even quite 10. And since this strategy is based on a 20 pip take profit and a 40 pip stop loss, you would not get into this one either. So it's just that simple. If you want to deviate from this strategy and it's strategy number 1, then that's entirely up to yourselves. But we strongly suggest that you do not, because I mean, this could take off because we don't know what the future brings. On the other hand, the chances of it getting up to the 20 pip and getting through this zone as well are highly doubtful. Like the last one came right up to here, the last touch. So
the other side of that as well, Ava, is if you're in a current trade, so say you're in a buy here and you didn't see that red zone, it wasn't there, and then all of a sudden you're in the trade and then that big red zone shows up, that means you're probably want to get out of there.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So, and that happens sometimes because as you can see, the zones, they develop as time goes on, as the candles form. And if you would have gotten into it, let's say you would have gotten into it down here or right here even, and you had the room. Okay, so let's have a quick look. So let's say it came in here. You would have gotten in at the candle close. And even though, let's just hypothetically say this was actually 20 pips and you could have taken this, the second this one popped up, get out. Because look at this, look at all the drawdown coming. And we still don't know if this is actually going to end up going where you want it to go. So you're absolutely correct, Matt.
Yeah, but it certainly could go right through there like a hot knife through butter. It could, based on the rules, though, we want to stick to what has been highly profitable, and the highest probability trades are the ones that don't have any red zones on top of them if you're in a buy.
Exactly. I mean, that's a gamble. That's what you call gambling, is that it might.
It certainly could. It certainly could, because a zone of potential resistance or support is only that. It's potential. It could bounce there like we're seeing right now, but it could come back down and just slice right through there through all the other potential support and resistance zones that were there.
Yeah,
because it's just there. Those zones are not 100%.
So, and now we just wait and see if another one comes in.
While you're doing that, I'm getting my time frame set up on my charts, and it's still running very, very slow for me. So,
yeah, that's all right. We just wait.
We'll just keep using your charts for right now until I get mine up, get mine up to speed. And maybe I don't know if yours are running slow or not, Matt. If they are, we'll just tag team here to show them as we see these things come in.
Yeah, for sure. Well, as you can tell, it doesn't take very long to analyze these trades. Like, it's either going to go or it's not.
And either that's the beauty of this.
Don't have to sit there for half an hour and say, well, this kind of makes sense and this is not. It's like, is it green? Is there a bounce in that direction?
That's right.
You can take the trade.
And it's very objective. You know, if it's going to do this, then you can do that. And if it doesn't do this, then you don't do that. Plain and simple. Move on, wait for the next one. And there will be many come through.
Very rule based. Yeah, very rule based.
Look how many have come through. Like there's not a shortage of these alerts coming through. So just wait for the next one. You wait for one that's actually going to fit the criteria, and that the probability of your profitability is quite high. That's what you're looking for. Anybody have any questions or anything on it? It's pretty straightforward.
Mine are not quite as slow this morning, but I am noticing that they are struggling. They're not as bad as yours, Al. Yours is painful.
Yeah.
But there is a latency issue for sure.
Yeah. What I'm finding is sometimes my alerts don't come through right away. I can hear yours bing, Al, before mine actually shows up.
Well, even mine, the one, the Aussie New Zealand didn't even show up that I saw on my chart. So that's kind of a little concerning.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that after the session this morning, see what's going on with it. But as long as one of us has an alert, it's all good.
Yeah, exactly. So did you guys start at 7:30 this morning?
We did.
Yeah, I got a message. Actually, I talked to Brian early this morning, and we got a new link to log into the room for one. And
no wonder I couldn't get in.
Yeah, we were, and we officially changed the time, which I didn't know that until later yesterday afternoon. And then I found out about the Telegram link and changed as well. So there was a couple of late minute changes that I was late in getting the information. So
Okay,
there's
guys.
Aussie CAD.
We've got a couple more just came in. Sorry to interrupt you, Al.
No, you're fine.
If we can grab it. Okay,
so we
had a British pound USD come in.
And Aussie CAD was another one.
Aussie CAD. So this is saying sell. Again, as you can see, this is a very strong buy. Like the greens overwhelm the red. So this is not something that we even want to look at. It's already popped down. No, this just does not go with the criteria that we have set for this particular strategy. So let's leave that alone, but we'll just have a quick look just to have a view.
Okay. All right, let's go see Aussie CAD real quick.
Aussie CAD looks like the same scenario.
Yep.
Are no good. So hang on, let me get to the Aussie CAD.
Same story.
It's the same thing, is it?
Yeah, same thing.
You're going right into a green zone.
All right, there you go, guys. This is what it looks like. Okay. Now, the sell is good because you could see how strong, well, I guess it's kind of, no, there's 4, but it's already so close to the zone that you're not going to get your 20 pips out of it. And that's what you need. Because when you're entering, the arrow and the alert comes through after this candle has closed. So you're already down to here before you can even look at that. It's 1.2 pips. So again, this one is a no-go. So you just sit back and wait for the next one. And you see, and they multiple, sometimes they'll come in multiples like that, you know, like 2 of them at a time, 3 of them at a time.
Yeah, and that kind of happens due to the correlation of the pairs and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them move very similarly, so.
You let me know when you want to share your screen now.
Well, in fact, yours is working much smoother than mine. I'd say just keep yours up and then we can just all discuss it off of yours.
Yeah, mine's messing up there.
Yours is not running slow this morning, huh, Eva?
No, mine's doing quite well.
It's
the Mac. You guys are always razzing me about having it, but it's the Mac.
Yeah, right.
The Mac can handle it.
Maybe that's the answer. Maybe that's the secret ingredient on that.
I don't know. I'm hesitant to start up my iPad, so.
Well, yeah, it's kind of hard on an iPad. I find I need my mouse. I work a whole lot faster on my mouse, even like a laptop.
Yeah.
I don't like the
Oh,
pad.
I always have a mouse with me.
Yeah. It's just so much easier for me.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of old school.
I like the precision.
Yeah.
I have a feeling some of those green zones are going to disappear.
You could be right about that. Let's have a look at...
They do repaint. So that's the only thing on this indicator that does repaint is the zones.
Yeah. It's quite possible.
There's a very, very big wedge there on the 15-minute on Aussie CAD. You know, the descending wedge.
Mm-hmm. Where are you talking from here? Like how big
from all the way at the top? Yeah, from the top down there.
You're talking from like a week ago.
Yeah, it's really big.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of been ranging around a fair bit, hasn't it, for a few days?
Yeah, it has. Actually, many of the currency pairs have been ranging in a very tight zone. So it's
mid-month. Is there anything going on? Like, why would they do that?
It might have to do with.
Let me see if there's anything going on with the Forex Factory. Let me see, where is it?
Once again, guys, just to reiterate, our new time is from 7:30 to 9. So those of you that are used to seeing us at 8 o'clock, we're now going from 7:30 to 9, and then Dante goes from 9 o'clock, I believe, until noon. Also for the Arrow strategies. Just keep that in mind. So there will be sessions that you guys can get into, and
we just got a US, we got an S&P trade coming up.
Yeah, I see the S&P trade. Now the S&P is on a 5-minute chart. Oh, see, look at that.
Yeah. The question is
it's a buy in.
Is it going to break through that or not?
Okay, so let's just have a quick look. This kind of deviates from the strategy, however, but I'm just curious. Okay, so that's 30 pips. Now, for the S&P, we do the dollars. So basically, we go $5 to $10 stop loss. So your profit is $5 up, right? So where are we at? 38.16. So we're looking at 38.21. So it would be up around here, but you're right in the middle of the zone again.
Yeah, and we're going against the trend.
Yeah, we're going against the trend, and that's not good. See, you can see it's equal trend, but now we just had a new red zone. It just kind of appeared like in the last couple of candles. This is a 5-minute chart, so it's just been within, say, last half hour or so. So you really don't want to be taking a buy when it looks like a strong sell. Look at the wick on this guy.
Yeah. And even if it does break through that little red zone, you still only have $4 move up to the bottom of the bigger red zone.
Yeah.
And so it still wouldn't be enough to take the trade.
That's right. Yeah,
it's not saying it won't go up there and challenge that a little bit, but it would be
$3.
A trade. That would be a marginal trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
And don't get discouraged, guys. I know we all looking at all these trades that are these alerts that have come through, and none of them are good enough to take. You're going to weed through a bunch of bad apples before you get one really good one. And that's just the way the market moves and the way it is.
But you only need one really good one.
That's all you need. So we have to deal with what the market gives us. And if this is what it's giving us, and if at the end of the day, when we're finished trading, if none of them work out that you want to get into and try, that's fine. You come back tomorrow, or, go away for a couple hours, try the afternoon session, or change your times, whatever. Just don't jump in just for the sake of being in a trade, because that's when you're going to lose money, and big time. So you're better off not getting into a trade at all than getting into a losing trade and losing money, because it's easy enough to lose, but it's that much harder to make back what you lost. And I speak from experience. So trust me.
I just had an arrow fall off of a chart.
An arrow fell off of a chart, like a falling star?
Kind of. No, I had arrow on all of my charts, and then all of a sudden,
all right,
one of them literally fell off the chart.
Huh.
That was weird. Haven't experienced that with this yet.
So Matt, when they upgrade the VPSs, what are they actually doing when they do that? Do you know?
They're increasing the available RAM. So I don't know the specific specs of what they're upgrading to, but I was advised that they're gonna give it a big kick in the butt.
Well, I think what's happening with all these, I mean, right now I'm running 30 charts on Arrow. I'm running 25 charts on Gearbox.
Yeah.
And so right there you've got, and they're all running on the same VPS, and they're all running all the time.
Yep.
Not to mention the charts on variable. And so that's an awful lot of
processing power that's required to run all that. So that is some of what's going on, Al, is that they've just found an opportunity to increase what is being offered. It wasn't, in the beginning, it wasn't an issue because we weren't using softwares that were so resource intensive. But at this point, we're getting to a point where we need significantly more processing power, and that's the decision that the company is kind of going with, is to kind of upgrade it.
A good example was just up until yesterday, I was only running the British pairs and I think it was the British and Euro pairs primarily on the Arrow, which I think I had maybe 10 or 11 pairs.
Yeah.
I've tripled that to now. I went from about 10 to 30.
Oh, you're running them all as well?
Yeah, I'm running them all as well. I just, I realized which, while they were, I saw yesterday when Dante was doing it, I saw all the pairs that he was running. So I thought, well, if we're able to run it, then we'll run them. I didn't know that they were running that many pairs and what pairs they were running. So since they found that out yesterday, then I put these on, but also seeing that's slowing down my computer quite a bit with the process.
Yeah, Dante has been running all the currency pairs for the last little bit. It's been good. That's where I originally got the idea in the first place.
See, I thought you were just running them off the Gearbox, from the Gearbox pairs is what I thought you were doing.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Well, Dante's probably using multiple strategies as well.
Yes, he's not just using strategy one. So they're doing a couple.
And that's another thing that we need to appreciate today too, guys, is that this strategy number one works predominantly on the British pairs.
Yeah.
And 4 of the Euro. So, we're looking at Aussie CAD and Aussie New Zealand, but this strategy does not work as well on those particular pairs. And the only reason we're looking at those is because we have them set up to use different strategies on it. Like different pairs require different strategies, but we're still looking at them all. But just remember, it's the British pairs and 4 of the select Euro pairs that this should be run on. And so far, we've really only had one British pair come up, haven't we, in this session?
I believe that's right.
Yeah. So, oh, and a British, and we've had a couple actually. Oh, what was that today? Yeah, that was today, but early. Yeah, see, look at this one. It's wanting to, it doesn't know if it wants to go up, come down. It's going down, even though the candle is green. But these candles don't represent the actual true candles on a chart. It represents the trend. So the candles change according to if it's an upward trend that particular moment or a downward trend. I can't get over this huge wick. This is insane. I need to measure this.
Pretty significant.
Look at that. That's a $16 move.
Something funky happened.
That would have been good to catch.
There's an alert.
Okay, we got another Aussie, New Zealand.
Aussie, US.
Or sorry, yes, Aussie, US. I think so. Okay, so
Aussie, yeah. US. I didn't get that one.
Look at this one here. This is like right in the middle of the zone. So again, let's just go through the motions.
Yeah, the more we go through the motions, the more subconscious it's going to be. You're going to be able to see it right away and you'll be like, oh, yeah, all right.
Exactly. It's going to be more mechanical. So what this is telling us is that overall, it seems to be in an upward trend. The greens are winning over the reds. This is telling us to go counter trend. And we don't want to do that, not on this strategy. And it's in the middle of the zone anyway. Price right now is right in the middle of your support zone. So to go against that would be suicidal. So you don't really want to do that. So this is another no trade. But again, guys, like I said, keep in mind that it's not a British pair, which is what this strategy works best on. Especially because of the British and the US markets kind of overlapping. It tends to be the most profitable for trading because it's the most volatile as well. Actually, the British is probably closed by now or just on the verge of closing. Are they not?
Oh, no, they should be about in the middle of the day right now, I think.
That's right. They're still going.
It looks like let's see, London opens at, I think 3 a.m. our time, which is basically, they're about 5 hours ahead.
Yeah.
So at 3 o'clock in the morning our time, add another 5 hours. So that's right around 8 o'clock London time. That's when they start getting their markets opened up.
Actually, another thing worth noting that we haven't even mentioned, only because we haven't really gotten into any trades, is this moving average here. It also comes into play, especially once you're in a trade, because if you're going long, you want the candles to stay above this moving average. And if you're in a short, you want to stay below the moving average. So while you're in a trade, and if it crosses over, that's another indication for you that you may need to get out of that trade. But it's better to see it as it happens on each trade's merit, really, because sometimes like this one here, look, it's got the big old wick, but yet it's still going down. So it's still, the candle itself closed below.
Yeah, just to elaborate on that a little bit, that moving average, it acts like a moving average. We don't really know what the parameters are of that moving average. Just whatever, it may be a combination of things of, we don't know what that is. All I know is just all part of the program that's incorporated into the algorithms.
Yeah, some of the secret sauce.
Which we don't even know what that is.
No, it could be a combination of 4 or 5 different indicators that show up just as a trend line, right?
Yep.
Or not a trend line, sorry, a moving average.
Yep.
Yeah. Feel free to hum.
Yeah, so Kiwi US, you got an alert on that, eh? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it came through that. I was too busy looking at the, okay, so the Kiwi US.
Take a look at that one. Oh, that might have some potential.
Okay, that might have some potential. Okay, so very quickly, let's
Right
take
now,
a
it's
look
at
out.
66
Okay,
to
strong to the
71.
down. It's strong to the
71,
downside, guys.
71.66 would be the target, and that would be not quite 20 pips, I don't think. 86 is only about 14 pips to the green zone.
Yeah, so it's not 20 pips. Oh, yeah.
There's the S&P.
I was just looking at the chat.
Oh yeah, that's true. The S&P is gonna fire.
Oh wow, look at this, guys. Look at this.
Oh, this looks like
it's a sell. Okay, so this one's looking pretty good. Let's.
Lots of room to the downside, looks like.
Okay, and it's 4, and it's 4, and this is the one we were just looking at. Remember, we said we don't want to go because it looks like it's going to get stronger to the downside.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's doing. So price is actually right up here now. So all the way down here is like a $13, but all we need is 5. So I think we're going to get into this one.
I would say that's a very good probability right there.
I'm going to put a buy. I've already got my position size in there that I'm comfortable with based on my account size. So we put the buy in. And now what we're going to do is I'm just going to go in.
You want to buy or sell?
Or sorry. Yeah,
sell.
Yeah, I got to close that. Sorry.
Oh,
okay. So this is a sell. I'm sorry. I was looking at the blue and I thought, okay, buy. My eyes got a little bit messed up. Okay, so now I'm going to modify the order. And on the S&P, it's on a 5-minute chart, and it's the same with gold. It applies to both of them. It's $5 profit target and a $10 stop loss. That's how it differs from the regular 2040. So I got in at 38.16. So my stop loss is going to be 38.26. And my take profit is going to be 38.11. That's the 5 and the thing. So there you have it. Where's my stop? It's way up here somewhere, isn't it?
Yep.
There it is, way up here. So now we'll just we'll watch it and see what it's going to do. Can I move you down a little bit? So just want to, oh no, I don't like that. Just want to be able to see what it's doing. How's that?
It's much better.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's nice and clean.
So we'll just watch what it's going to do. Here's my take profit. And as you saw, the stop loss is way up there. However, if it actually breaks through this and starts heading towards this, I'll probably get out manually. I won't even wait for it to hit my stop loss that's way up there, because then it has this zone and this zone to get through. So I don't know. We'll wait and see what it's going to do.
Oh, it sounded like a baby. And I realized it was a cat.
It's my cat. He sits in the window and talks to the animals in the backyard.
Oh.
He's a noisy little thing. Let me just quiet him down.
He's funny. All I hear in my house is baby sounds all the time.
There's no arguing with animals, so I just had to shut the door of my office. And then this indicator here just kind of shows you where you stand. Like you can see, this is showing the S&P that I'm at minus 15 pips right now. And this is the overall minus 15. So if I was in, say, 3 or 4 different trades at the moment, it would give you the total here, the sum of your negatives and your positives, and then it would list them out.
Oh, we just got an S&P buy. What's going on here?
Whoa, look at them. Look at now it's got a buy. Really?
Yeah.
You know what, guys? And that kind of tells me I should probably get out. What do you think?
I think so, yeah.
Yep.
All right, so let's close that one down.
The overall...
But this, I'm not sure about this now. It seems to be moving. It seems to be playing with me now. So I don't know if I want to even.
I don't even have a red zone there.
No, I know. It's like.
No, I don't have a red zone right here.
I don't have one yet either, which is interesting. I think it's just because our computers are slow.
I don't know.
Let's have a look at the silver. We've got a silver one too. The S&P right now, I'm not real happy with it because it's going up, down, up. So you know what? I don't know. I should have probably stayed in it, but I didn't. And this is demo. So anyway, so let's have a look at the silver. Let's see if that. Now this is promising. Look at that now. It's coming back down. This is promising. So let's just have a little look. I'm thinking we're pretty good with this part. Oh yeah, that's more than the $5 that you need. This is on a 5-minute chart. Okay, and it's long to the long, right?
It looks almost.
It's got like 4 to 3 for green. So let's wait and see what this guy does now, because he's coming down here before I would get into it.
Yeah, I would be a little cautious with that because the last major zones, overall on the 5-minute S&P 500 appears to be in an upward trend. That all these most recent red ones were all in a pretty tight zone of consolidation.
Yeah, and look at that. They're touching all the way along. So yeah, look at it going. So yeah, you don't want to, even though it all looks good and it all fits the criteria, you don't want to get into it. I mean,
look
this
at that thing.
End up changing red. Not yet anyways. Let's see if it comes back up to where it closed. Then I probably will get into it.
That thing's not messing around today.
No way.
Nope.
Pretty aggressive. That's a pretty aggressive move right there.
It is. It was bound to break out, though. That could be a very, very significant move.
But to which direction?
Exactly.
Who knows?
Like it's you have a strong candle up. You have a strong candle down.
It doesn't know what it wants to do. So
no, just like some people.
Actually, silver is one I haven't looked at for a very long time. This is first time I actually looked at silver in quite a while.
So yeah, we'll see what it does, but if it does come up and close up here somewhere and start a new candle heading up, then I'll pop into it because everything else is still there, right? And you got lots of room. Like that's 11. I just need 5. I just need it to get to this part, this high, and I'm good. So let's see what happens. Any thoughts out there? Anybody have anything to they would do, Janar?
Let me pull that up on a different chart here and just see what we have with that.
And this is a perfect example where everything is a go, 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 but the market has a different idea. So you kind of have to really be on your toes sometimes, you know, like you have to look at everything. Just because it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it might not be. It might be a goose.
Yep, that is true.
Oh, see, look at that. You see that red zone just popped in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's getting tighter and tighter. You got a red zone, a green zone. It's just.
Yeah, even though, yeah, see? So had I gotten in when this opened, I'm not in it. I'm not in it.
Oh, okay. Good.
No, I didn't get in this because this started going down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like you have to see what's going on. You can't just jump in because, you know, everything is as it should be according to the criteria. So now in particular, there's no way. Even if it comes up and closes up here, I'm not getting in it because this is here now. This resistance. Okay, when did did we look at the Aussie yen? This one just came in.
I think that one just came up.
That one just came in. So let's have a look at it. Yeah, the silver's going nowhere as far as I'm concerned. Not just yet anyway.
Oh, the Aussie yen look good to the downside.
Okay, so there's the Aussie yen. Okay, again, let's go down. It's telling us to sell. And the only problem is you're going counter trend again, according to this particular strategy. Right?
Yes, it is. It is counter trend.
So if you were to get in here, you still wouldn't even have your 20. Oh, that's not what I meant to do, sorry. So if let's just put a line across. Let's just say we jumped in right here. I'm not going to put I just want to see where it's going to end up going.
Did we get a pound yen alert, eh?
Pound yen.
I did not get one.
Yeah. Where? When? Just like now? Just now?
Yeah.
How come I'm not seeing this?
I'm not seeing it either.
What time frame are you looking at, Al?
15.
So why are we not seeing it?
Yeah, why am I not seeing it? Let's see.
That's odd.
Oh, this is a one. Why is this changed to a 1 hour? Oh, there it, because my chart was on a 1 hour. Some of these I noticed they change of their own accord.
Well,
I don't know why they do that.
I could have sworn I had all mine on 15 the other day.
I did too, and I don't know what goes on.
I must have missed something.
Okay,
Pound yen, you said, right? Let's take a look at it.
Good old pound yen.
You're right in the middle of the zone.
Yep.
And it's a strong buy. Look at that. Look at all the green. Everything seems to be coiling up and ranging today.
It's all going contra trend today.
Yeah. It's really odd. Let's have a look back at the Aussie yen. So this said a sell. So it's just, we'll see what it's going to do. But these pairs don't move as quickly as the pound pairs, right?
The pounds are usually fairly aggressive. Actually, and the pounds actually have a little more dollar value, I believe, too. If we are looking at that calculator chart, I think the pounds have a little bit more.
I think it's like 30% more, is it?
Well, it depends which one. Like the pound Aussie, it's only like $6.42. The pound CAD is $7. Actually, it's a little.
Let's have a
most expensive one. The British Swiss is about 10.28. So.
Yeah, the U.S. CAD's seeing. I apologize if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. Mentioned that there is a U.S. CAD alert. See, it's all alerting counter trend. Look at that. That's strong to the down. You can actually even see it. So you really don't want to get into it. And it has this double block of resistance here. So it's a no-go for that one. So that's all we have for a moment here. So we got 10 more minutes to go, guys, and then
Dante takes over.
Yeah. So I don't know if he gets in the room early, then he might cut us off. I wonder if he knows we're here.
Yeah, he may not even know we're here. It's, if anybody that was in the room yesterday, we got cut off, and just like all of a sudden we were done, and just like what
were just gone.
And we found out, and it was just we found out that Dante opened up the session when basically Avoria Prime has the Zoom room, and so the coaches and people that are doing these presentations, we have certain time slots. Well, he got the time slot from 9 o'clock to 12, and I felt we slipped through the cracks about letting me know that was happening. So next thing I knew that we got kicked out, and not knowing why, and then we found out what the problem was. So there was a little breakdown in communication.
Yeah.
As this company's growing, it's those things like that happen, and it's just one of the. It wasn't a big deal. Just there wasn't that much going on in the room anyway. But and that's the years. For some of you that came in a little bit late, I wasn't able to get the word. I just found the word. I just got the word myself late last night, and I found out that we had a new link to open up this room this morning. So I had to figure that all out. That's why we were a little bit slow getting started this morning, but we're working the bugs out and working on our new format. And like I said, that we will probably still keep doing a certain amount of technical analysis. But right now, we're just sort of easing our way into this new format and seeing exactly what it's going to look like.
I actually didn't see the change until this morning around 6:30. So
you probably had more notice.
Wow, okay.
You probably had more notice. You had more notice than I did. I saw about 7 o'clock.
What, this morning?
Yeah. I got a message from Brian. Brian's an early riser, and he's at school at 6 or 6:30 in the morning, and which is he texted me and said that we got new Telegram messages to get logged into the room, and so I had to scramble to get in here and figure out where to find it and how to get it logged in and get that set up. So
yeah, it doesn't. They don't give us a lot of time, do they?
Well, it was. Well, I think what happened is a lot was the discussion last night, and I wasn't around last night to be able to. Sometimes in the evenings, I just sort of turn things off so I can reboot myself a little bit.
Yeah, you need to. Unfortunately, my cell phone is always with me, and I get emails and everything. Mind you, I don't look at them all the time, but I do check them in the morning if I don't see them at night. And that's when I noticed that, we start at 7:30 this morning. Get a move on.
Speaking of cell phones, I usually put mine on silent at night, and then I forget to turn it on, and I miss them.
Yeah, that's I put mine on Do Not Disturb generally.
I see Christine finally found us.
Just in time for us to shut it down.
I'm going to move her over here.
As you guys can see, there is a many number of alerts that come out. There's a lot of alerts, so there's no problem in not taking an alert that's not optimal, right?
That's right. I mean, and we've only been here for an hour and a half. I mean, you could sit here doing this for however long you want to do it. You know, like especially from 1 a.m. to 1 p.m. our time, which is in Estonia, for example, it's from 8 p.m. last night to, how does that work? From 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., sorry, to 8 p.m. So, I mean, you've got the money, what do they call that? The money zone going on pretty much your whole day. So, I mean, that's perfect. You just jump in and out, and that's when most of the alerts come through too, if I'm not mistaken, for this particular strategy.
Yeah, because most, it's something like 80% of all foreign exchange transactions occur during the money zone.
Yeah.
So it's yeah.
No. I was just going to say that last night, Dante, besides doing, I don't mean Dante because you guys were talking about him. I mean, Nathan, because I was up for that 1 a.m. until like 2:45.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, and then my internet went down, so I had to stop, but they were still going. But anyway, he was saying that, it's really important. Sometimes it's better to know when not to trade than to trade. And sometimes people think just because they get an alert, they have to grab it. So Ava made a really good point there. And also he was saying like which pairs are better at which times, like the pound pairs are better in the earlier part of the money zone with the London session. Like it's which ones are better at the London session than and then which ones are better at the New York session. And then he was saying that gold is better at the New York session, and then it's better in order. It's like 70% of gold is in the New York session, 25% is in the Asian session, and only 5% is in the London session. And there were a few other pointers that he gave out. So I don't know if you want me to go over them today because I know you're shutting down soon.
Yeah, we've got like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So we got to shut down.
Okay. All right. No problem. We'll go over it tomorrow.
Yeah, and actually, Dante might actually even go and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes over some of that in the session this morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they're hoping to do, Dante's going to be adding 2 women to his group so that there's like a panel so that you get different styles. And Nathan is looking for instructors to do that in his session if anybody's interested, and then they can go through that with Avoria Prime. So.
All right. Well,
I think it's, well, we got 3 more minutes. Eva, I appreciate you sharing your charts since you had a faster computer system here.
No problem.
We'll have to work on that. Actually, I think perhaps if I reboot my computer, that might help a little bit too.
Yeah.
They're changing the VPS this weekend, so.
Yeah, so that should help. We're just, I've experiencing some very slow feeds today. And again, that's just, it sounds like that's going to be fixed this weekend, which is a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the following weekend, version 3 is coming out of Arrow.
Yep.
So.
I'll tell you what, since we'll give, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up, since they'll give Dante a couple of minutes before his session starts at 9 o'clock, because we'll get booted out at 9 anyway. So thanks everybody for coming in. We'll be here again tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll see everybody then.
You're welcome, Janar. Thank you for participating.
Bye, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye, Revo. Bye, everyone. Have a good day.